So my only channel that I watch, CNBC, because they're part of the NBC family. My afternoon show is going to be preempted for 2 freaking weeks for the Olympics. Is anybody watching the Olympics?
With 50 plus years of combined produce, supply chain, entrepreneurial, and business experience, Craig Slade and Ed Bertad discuss the impacts of fresh produce on their lives and health. This podcast is a casual conversation between two friends just trying to get better. This is the Fresh CrEd.
I saw the intro. I saw the torch running around. I saw the intro because my show that I watch, it ended on Friday, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. Anyway.
You bring up an interesting point. So this was a point that was made on a newscast the other day, and I think there's a lot of concern that any Olympic Games are so costly to produce that there are only a select few cities around the world that can afford to have them and build the infrastructure that's then left behind and often unutilized or underutilized once the Olympics are gone. I think Brazil was an example of that during the summer games that they had. But also the fact that only one network carries the Olympics, right? So I don't know the numbers, but there were numbers thrown around like I think the first Olympics cost, I guess it was NBC, whatever news station or whatever TV network, television network it was, but it cost them a couple $1 million for the rights, and now it's in the multiple billions of dollars. And how much more, also in question was how much more efficient it would be if it was split up evenly amongst news stations or TV major networks, whether it's CBS, NBC, ABC. And that might be a solution for your favorite program's interruption.
Yeah, it would. I mean, but that still doesn't get to the heart of. So how many events? So it started. The opening ceremonies was Friday. And obviously they're different time zone, but I don't know. So call it Friday. It opened. Saturday the events have started today's Sunday. It's been going a couple of days. How many events have you watched, and what did you watch?
I think I watched a little bit of men's downhill.
You
skiing.
think?
Yeah, I watched like 2 competitors. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, my quote for today is, we're not going to do it right now, but my quote for today is Olympic related. So I went with the Olympic theme with my quote today. So
I didn't do Olympic theme. Damn it.
See, you got to be you got to be timely. You got to be relevant, Ed. Come on, man. That's what people tune in.
Mine is sports related, though.
Maybe you're just Super Bowl themed.
Kind of a little more Super Bowl themed.
Yeah, we're probably going to get in trouble for that, but whatever.
Why is that?
Bill. Can't say that anymore. Got to call it the big game. Trademarked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think that's mostly around promotions. Like if we were like, hey, we're going to have a big Super Bowl giveaway, and, be sure and send in your cards and letters for it or something. And I think that would be more.
Oh, yeah.
We're not really trying to promote anything. It's just we said that.
Yeah, you're not leveraging it to get something.
Not leveraging it. That's perfect. Yeah.
Did you ever watch the show Rattlesnake Republic?
No.
Huh.
No. I'm not going to either. That's not.
It's a good show, man.
Not watching that one.
It's just about the efforts of snake hunting in actually kind of central and southwest Texas. But one of the main characters on the show is related to Callie.
Man, Callie is got a lineage of famous people.
Have a big family.
Yeah. I mean, damn.
The Olympian, the rattlesnake hunter.
Yeah.
So he was the one on this show. He's one of the buyers. Actually, he's an older guy. He's like a second uncle.
When she's married to Ed too.
Well, then you got that right.
I mean,
that's like
the
a
Fresh CrEd guy.
That's the big one. That's what she's known for. Like, oh God, that's
Trying to-
Edward Todd's wife.
it's
Yeah.
like trying to hug a hurricane.
Before we move off of snakes, I just wanted to have either of you been. So whenever my dad lived in San Antonio, going there from Dallas, we'd always pass by this snake farm off 35. It's over, I want to say outside of Austin. Are you familiar, Ed?
It's like by Bluebonnet Ford is like across, not far from there. But yeah,
Yeah, he's familiar. Bluebonnet.
Yeah,
Ford's across the
he's
street.
bought a bunch of trucks there.
or maybe it's in shirts. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so, I used to pester him every time, we'd pass that thing and be like, hey man, I want to go to the snake farm. And so we'd go a lot, but there was this one time in particular where we caught a rattlesnake feeding, and they had this big old snake pit. Like, I went back as an adult, and it's definitely not as big as I remember it being, but I mean, it's probably about a 12-foot deep pit, just a big circle inside their building. They got a bunch of different snakes, like all types of venomous. They got animals out back now, but there was like maybe 30 rattlesnakes in this pit, and they just started loading down buckets of mice. And that was
Oh my God!
it was one of the coolest things.
Scene.
It was like snakes were biting each other just in the all the movement, but that was freaking wild.
Wow,
So
that's something. Hey kids,
yeah, it was like,
come on in.
So my wife used to grab snakes when we lived the house where you had been with trash grabbers. Like
I
if
thought
there
you were
was
going
one,
to say with her hand. I thought she was going to
no,
be like a
with
snake
just like
charmer.
these dinky little trash grabbers, just like the stuff they sell at Home Depot.
Yeah.
And growing up where she did, I mean, she was pretty used to seeing snakes, centipedes, tarantulas, that kind of stuff. So thankful for that she'd handle it herself if I was, away, because it would have made me a lot more worried. But still not safe with the trash grabbers. Not only, I guess, rattlesnakes can strike half the length of their body. So these little trash grabbers are like 24 inches or whatever.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot of holding power, So there were a couple like in the garage or on the porch that wound up being dispatched with those tongs. And so I was in Uvalde one day, and at a like, it's called Outdoor Country. It's kind of like a mix between Tractor Supply and a sporting goods store. And they had snake tongs, professional, stainless, pistol grip.
Oh baby.
I say pistol grip because that's what applies the pressure, right? And they're different. It's, they're about $150. So it was right around Valentine's Day.
Oh my God.
And that's what my wife got for Valentine's Day. And she loved it. And I still have them today. And I used them not too long ago.
She loved it, did she?
Yeah, I think so. But
Next time
anyway, they're
Go ahead,
4
Mason.
feet long. So, you think about 4 feet. Well, an 8-foot rattlesnake can strike supposedly 4 feet. I suspect further because they kind of lunge, but whatever. So that, yeah, 8 foot and under.
I just want to see like a slideshow of the various gifts Callie's received over the years from Ed. We got the,
mine are-
jacket,
buddy,
the
mine
snake
are
grabber.
Yeah, well, Ed's are actually look super romantic compared to mine, so I'm not even going to go down my path.
Because from mine to 0 is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, I think
Well,
honestly, God's honest truth. I think it was Valentine's. I can't remember what else I got, but I'm pretty sure I got these vacuum cleaner bags as part of the gift. God's honest truth. It's, I've got some terrible stories. Well, she had made mention that she needed them. And so in my mind,
It'd be
I
the
thought-
sweet thing to do.
well, I'm pretty sure I had something else with it, but it wasn't much better. But I had
Was
to
it
learn.
the yellow rubber gloves. Did you get her some of those too?
I did not get the red and yellow gloves. Yeah,
Vacuum bags and gloves.
I mean, I know. I mean, I look back on young Craig. Actually, old Craig's he's only been beaten into betterness, pretty much because his mind still is not. It doesn't think things through sometimes. But I did get the lessons like if it plugs in, don't buy that for me. Just that's rule number one. It plugs in.
I will say we agreed not to buy anything for each other for Christmas because we've been spending money on the house and repairs and remodels and stuff. And the kids was normal, right? Normal. Although this is the only year that Santa might have skipped the house, but that's another discussion, heartbreaking discussion. We bought each other a trash can for the kitchen. That was our gift to each other. And I love it. It's my favorite gift I've gotten in a long time. It's a simple human, and it's the motion and voice activated. And it's like the biggest one that they have. And you say to it, open can, it opens. You come over with your refuse and dispose of it in the receptacle.
Good.
So we missed you at the Hall of Fame banquet.
Did you?
Yeah. You got a shout out.
I did. Awesome.
Yeah, you did actually.
Yeah. Were you promoting the show?
It wasn't for me.
Oh.
I wouldn't do that. That's shameless. But it was good. So we had the Texas International Produce Association Hall of Fame banquet. I had the honor of emceeing that evening. So it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to talk very much. So
yeah, I know.
It was a stretch for me, but
I saw some of your mug shots after it looked like a good event, good turnout, eh?
Given the circumstances, it was a very good turnout. It's hard. You could argue that we should have waited, but this event's every 2 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
we've
tell
already
everybody
canceled
what it is. What is
once.
the Hall of Fame? I mean,
so the Hall of Fame is look, I don't have the rules in front of me, but it's recognition for a lifetime of work within the produce industry. So there are several awards, lifetime achievement awards, that are directly associated to ag production, and then another award, the Scott Toothaker Award, is for kind of allied industry folks that have been impactful in the produce industry and contributed of their time and efforts over the length of their career. So it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, and it's all put on by the Texas International Produce Association.
Correct. So that was fun. It was a good time.
Well, I missed you in Florida this week.
What was going on in Florida? What'd I miss?
It was the organic show, man.
Oh yeah.
You gotta get back out, bud. You can't.
I gotta
just,
get. I wasn't.
You can't
doing
just go
anything.
to San Antonio. There's bigger places than just
It was
South Texas and San Antonio.
Believe me, I was tied up. Doing good things. Mm-hmm.
Things you can't talk about on this show. Yeah.
So
hey, I did run into some people though. So you say that I did run into some listeners. It's always weird, right? But
no,
I did.
Did they stop you in the street? Did they say, "Hey, that's that dude"?
Kinda.
It was a bus of supermodels that were driving by. They were in a party bus. They stopped. They're like, "Oh my god,
yeah, that's Craig."
Is that Craig from the Fresh
Not
CrEd?
like that. I'm just saying. There's the Fresh CrEd followers. Had a couple people say, "Hey, caught your pod," and I've got
1,000 downloads. I shared that with some
in
friends
one day.
and coworkers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That I gotta say the air's getting a little thin up here.
Hey, and I've got I'm telling you, I'm lining up interviews like crazy. So I found a couple.
You are doing something then.
Yes, I am
cool.
busy behind the scenes. I mean, for those of you that tune in each week and listen to just me and Ed, I promise we've got some exciting people coming up. It's just a matter of getting it all lined out, getting their time to where they can get on here and get it done. But a couple of folks, like I say, some exciting stuff. Hey, saw Trent Bishop while I was there.
Oh, great.
Caught up with him. He's I don't know if you knew, he's moved over to Sunkist.
Yeah, I text with Trent once in a while. I actually texted with him this week, but he didn't ask me where I was or how come I didn't see him. But I'll have
He
to
knows
follow
you're a
up with
busy
that.
guy, Ed. He's
Yeah, I
good
know.
with you.
Oh, I know.
So,
I
but
think it was his birthday last week. That's what it was. I sent him a text for his birthday.
But yeah, he actually had somebody that he thought would be good for the show. Somebody reaching out to a friend of his. And yeah, so organic show was good. It's small, wasn't a lot,
Was it as cool as my new sign?
I'm sorry, cool as what?
My
Your
new
new
sign.
sign. Oh, the organic show was not as cool as your new sign.
Thank you.
Your new sign, for those of you just listening on pod, it says the Fresh CrEd, which that's cool. But the coolest part for all of us here is Ed used to have this completely boring plain, just brown wall that, like I say, super uninteresting. And now he's got something interesting in the background. So good job, Ed. Yeah, nice. It looks awesome. I still think you should have got the cat hanging in there. I think that would be better. But
Well, it hangs real easy. I can switch out during the week.
right. You
Which
could do that.
My wife has requested for me to do. I hung it up and I was so proud of it. And I said, hey, look what I got on the wall. She's like, are you going to leave it up all the time? She says, you do know as people walk through the door and look right through your office doors, it's the first thing they see.
Good.
Yeah.
You should, put the website on.
So I was going to get like a Rembrandt or something like that and throw it up for the week and then, uncover it.
That's a good idea. Good idea. Hey, so you gonna do that with your? Oh my gosh! When you're on your company calls, you're gonna have the Fresh CrEd in the background. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, I've had it with the fuzz, but I haven't totally unveiled it yet.
Oh, you gotta unveil it, man! I want to see you on some of these Zoom calls with PMA or something like that. It's not PMA anymore. International Produce Association or whatever they are. So
of the universe.
Of the universe, yes. But tell you what, man, I'm going to be developing a watch. Just so you know, my family knows about this watch that I have. As Mason grins because this is out there. But I've had this watch in my mind for years. I was going to write a book on it, actually. This goes back a couple of years ago. But now it doesn't look such like a big deal. What I'm about to tell you is not that far out there. But my watch is literally going to be a timepiece that predicts the day you'll die based on your metrics.
That could be a real problem. Have you ever watched Minority Report?
I haven't. Well, but I want to go. Before we go to the Minority Report, why would that be a real problem?
Because you'd have a lot of folks committing crimes leading up to the day that they know they're going to die.
That's where my mind went.
No, why
Yeah,
did your
if you know you're
mind
gonna
go
die
there? What
in
did
2 days,
nobody's doing that?
Would you
No,
not
the
go
idea
rob
of the
a bank? Would you not go
For the thrill of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
why would you rob a bank 2 days before you're going to die? That seems pointless.
And so I could bury it and tell somebody where to find it. Maybe help them out.
No.
I mean, you escape all legal action, and maybe you could help they'd be watching people for a good long while after that.
Why can't your attitudes be like people would watch that? And so when you eat a cheeseburger at McDonald's, and all of a sudden you just took a half a day off your life because that burger, because whatever, right? Or if it's kind of that's going to inform what you in other words. Hey, man, I ran 3 miles today, and you can see how that impact gave you another couple of hours in life. And if you do that every day, you get a full day after 7 days. I mean, that's the way I see the Life Watch. But here's the thing, and this is real. This is important. This is important with or without my watch. This is an important metric for everybody listening, right? The number one killer. What is it? Number one killer.
Cancer?
Nope. It's close.
Smoking?
Nope. No, not that. Smoking's in action. So number one killer.
Obesity?
Well, okay. So stay with obesity because it is the underlying in all these things, these top 3 things. these health issues, the underlying health problem is obesity. It is an underlying issue in just about all these. Heart disease or cardiovascular disease, el numero uno.
Really? Still?
Still. Number 2, cancer. And number 3, I believe, is diabetes. But certainly the 1 and 2 is, and you look up the statistics on the third one, but and so if you focus yourself on those things that contribute to, just pick the number 1 and 2, right? Think about how you change.
Can I tell you what they are in order from 2019?
Yeah.
Injury facts, death by demographics. Heart disease,
Mhm.
cancer, and then it goes to preventable injury, chronic lower respiratory distress, then stroke, then Alzheimer's, then diabetes,
Okay, so diabetes further down than that. Okay.
then nephritis. I'm not sure what that is. Influenza and pneumonia, and then suicide.
And suicide's, I think, the fastest growing. Maybe diabetes, suicide or diabetes one. But here's the crazy thing. So this is the other thing you think about. And this is, we're getting off into Craig's mind. But the reality of it is heart disease, cancer. That both have relatively, you can contribute to them, or you can lower reduce the risk considerably, right?
Mhm.
But basically, we as humans are ultimately committing suicide every day. We're contributing to our slow death, particularly when it comes to heart disease, because of how we eat and how we live. And we choose to do that, whether it's smoking cigarettes or vaping or cigars.
Wine.
Wine. Nope. Nope.
Well, I had some the other day. And it made me feel like dying. So,
oh man, I freaking had.
I had
the best. I mean, one of the best bottle of wines I've had. I just freaking had one Friday night that was tremendous. But
I'm gonna try some of this histamine-free wine because, man, it just screws up my head too bad. Sinuses, and I think I'm just allergic. So there's the clean wines, I guess they're coming out with, and there's also like a filtration deal you could use, but the clean wines that are, and I think we even got some ones called Scout and Cellar, and it's histamine free. And what's the other thing that messes people up?
Sulfates.
Sulfate free. So sulfate, I knew you would know. I definitely knew you would know.
Hey, baby, I make wine. I've made some
bathtub wine.
Low sulfate wines, huh?
Bathtub wine.
Bathtub wine, baby. Bathtub gin. Hey, but I want to go back to, so look, but it's a slow progress. This is the importance of eating. Just you. In other words, you can overdose on pills, which is very immediate, or you can slowly consume your way to some major health issue that takes you out. Right? Come on, Mason. I want to see. I see your wheels turning, and you're thinking, "How do I counter this thought process?"
I don't want to counter it necessarily. Ultimately, I wouldn't classify it as like a suicide thing. Like, sure, you can take actions. Like, people could you could live a risky lifestyle and still consider it, without your consumption. Maybe you're just like a stinking snowboarder, and you do like lots of extreme stunts, or you're a paraglider, those adrenaline junkies. Like, I wouldn't consider them as people that, due to their actions, are slowly committing suicide necessarily.
I see where you're going with this, and I get your. So maybe all right. So
mine's a semantic thing,
yeah. Probably I shouldn't. Yeah. So it's not. You're not committing. All right. So I'm going to backtrack that. So it's not suicide per se, but when you think about the top 2 killers, which kill the majority of people, right? I mean, if you think about just people in your life, and people will say, well, cancer is hereditary. Cancer is, in a lot of instances, hereditary. We all carry the propensity or possibility of cancer cells, going crazy, and all of a sudden, but the reality of it is, it's like, so for smoking, people that smoke are not guaranteed to get lung cancer. Okay. But people that have a genetic propensity for that, well, you're going to increase your probability of it. If you're already genetically prone to get it, and then you layer on top of it smoking, then you're going to increase your odds, if you live long enough, that that's eventually going to manifest itself. But if you carry that cancer gene and you don't do something to push it to manifest itself, which is, anyway, we could get off on a whole cancer discussion. All I'm saying is both those 2 diseases, particularly the number one, is directly related to lifestyle, and you can at least control. You're in control of the top 2 to some extent, right? Yeah, there's no guarantee that somebody couldn't live the most healthy, perfect life, get cancer because of environmental that doesn't guarantee. But I'm telling you, over the course of, if you look at the majority of them, prostate and colon cancer and all that kind of, most of that stuff is related to what you're putting in your body. So there's my PSA for today. Yes, eat better, folks. You control it.
It would be fun.
Taking a trip with me, listen to me talk for like 2 hours, 3 hours.
I've taken trips with you. I don't know what show I was listening to the other day, but they were talking. I think it was an old show, an old recorded show. They had done that burger decomposition thing where they had put out like a fast food burger, like on the table or something, to see how long it would take to mold over. And I guess they got tired of waiting because it literally never got moldy, never went bad, never. It looked the same as it did like the day they put it out. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So would you do that at home for us there in the background?
Put a burger out?
Yeah, go down to your unfavorite fast food restaurant, get a burger, or go to multiple and do a little test.
Carl's Jr.'s.
And see which one.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
Just do a comparison.
What are they putting in? I mean, it's just a hamburger, aren't they? I mean,
they've done it, Craig.
Are they
I
putting
think
preservatives in
everything that goes into
There's
them is preserved to the extent that it literally won't mold
There's
over.
preservatives.
Grow.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to. Time is short today. We got to get to what you eating there, Cowboy Bobby.
What am I eating? Well, look.
I'm looking. Talk to me.
This is not something that I tried for the first time, but quinoa is starting to grow on me.
Like a bacteria?
No, like I don't mind it anymore. Like when I first had it,
okay.
It looked like belly button lint attached to minute rice. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And now I had it like 3 times this week, 3 different places, all while out like and about, not at home. It's really good. I don't mind it now. So anyway, but I'm a fan of quinoa now. But let me tell you, this Gold Thread Turmeric Radiance plant-based tonics. See that? This is my new product for the week. Really liked it. Actually, Callie bought it for me.
Who makes it?
It was
What's it called?
The brand is Gold Thread, but it's a juice, not a juice. It's a tonic. So it's ginger, turmeric, I think lemon. Anyway, really, really good. I'm a fan. I'm going to get some more. Ginger root, turmeric, orange peel, lemongrass, cinnamon, cardamom, coriander seeds. cloves. Madagascar vanilla. Sorry, I have got another pair of glasses on that I can't read with that are for my screen.
Got you. They look good on you.
Thanks.
So
Pretty bad when you have to switch out glasses. So anyway, that's what I enjoyed new this week. And then the quinoa, which is, look, a lot of people eat rice. Rice is was a big thing in my life. I still eat it from time to time, but if I do, it's brown at minimum. Man, I used to love a good fried rice at a Japanese steakhouse. Oh, when they do like the butter and the oil and the egg and all that stuff oh man, it's good. But last time I had it, I thought I was gonna have a stroke.
Hang on, I got to stop.
I've had jasmine rice. It's good.
Yeah, no, but I'm telling you, the brown rice.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to do some research on that.
Okay.
Because
it's not healthier.
Honestly, from one of my doctors that I've read, jasmine, if you're going to eat rice, jasmine is really the only rice to eat. And make sure it's not the jasmine out of Cali. Make sure it's the jasmine out where it originated from. Sorry, I can't think of that, but country that is. But Thailand.
India?
I believe it's Thailand. Thailand is, I think Thailand's where jasmine is originally from. Thailand.
Hey, I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but I believe if you cook a potato, cool it, and then heat it up again, the resistant starches either increase or decrease, so that it's less of an insulin spike. You think that's applicable to rice?
Sorry, say it again.
I wonder if that's applicable with rice or any other starches.
Yeah, that I don't know. I've heard something about what you're talking about with the potato. Yeah, you need to look into that. You're just best to stick with sweet potatoes, and you already got it's got the resistant starches already there. But yeah, look into the rice deal. But yeah, cooking rice has got to do with the lectins. We don't get off on that tangent, but I only eat jasmine, and man, I've become such a good rice cooker. When I first started, I was terrible, man, but now I cook up some mad jasmine rice, and it's addictive. I mean, it's super good. So, hey, speaking of that, are you curious about what I'm eating? Or are we just going to keep curious about you? I mean, it's kind of like each week. I don't know. We both do it.
Craig, what are you eating?
Well, Ed, since you have so curiously asked,
what you eating?
Well, so this week, as I'd mentioned before, I was in Florida. It's at the Hard Rock Hotel there where the show was taking place.
Were you out promoting the 1,000th download of the Fresh CrEd podcast? Is that what you were doing out there?
I was. In fact, I ran into a couple of pod fans. A couple people brought it up. I told you that earlier. So, yeah, I was absolutely
any autographs?
Promoting. You know what? Nobody wanted my autograph. But they were certainly glad to know me, it seemed like. So that was good. All right. So have you ever had Korean food?
I have.
Okay. Korean barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Which this place, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. It seemed like a steak place to me for the most part. They called it Korean barbecue, but they had a lot of steaks. So I don't know if Koreans are known for their steaks or not, but that's not the point. That's not what I had not had. I had never had kimchi fried rice.
I've had both independently, but not together.
And this stuff, kimchi is some good stuff. Now, what do you know? Is kimchi the vegetable itself, or is that the preparation, or do you know?
Kimchi's fermented cabbage.
It's fermented cabbage. Thank you. Okay, so it's the preparation. So it's cabbage. And then the other thing at this restaurant, I mean, this place was really good. We kind of did just a family style smorgasbord stuff. We did what's called hot pot. Are you familiar with hot pot?
I've seen it on a cooking show. I've never had it.
Yeah, so it's spicy tofu hot pot. Again, outstanding. Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
that on diners, drive-ins, and dives or something like that. We watch that sometimes.
I don't know. That guy doesn't look like the guy's eating that kind of stuff. He's Mr. Cheeseburger, Mr. Everything that should kill you.
He does a lot of tasting.
My God, that poor guy. I watched that show and I think to myself.
Oh, no, you're talking about the one where they do the eating competition thing. You're talking about some other, not a competition, but he'll go out and eat like a 2-pound hamburger or whatever. You're talking about that
maybe
guy.
it is. I don't know. There's some of those shows I watch. I'm just like, this is just sinful. But
yeah, that one's tough. I like the one where they were at the big Tex in Amarillo. home of the 72
Oh,
ounce
did
steak.
they get it? Did they get the steak finished?
Oh, he couldn't eat it all. No, because you have to
No.
eat the steak. You have to eat the steak and the sides, the steak, the potato, and
Oh, I didn't know.
something
So
else.
I'm pretty sure the original was just the steak.
You know how many? You know how big a 72 ounce steak is?
Yeah,
I
I've been to
mean,
that restaurant. I've been in there.
me too, but I didn't try to eat that steak.
So is it a
They do
T-bone?
have a pretty
though?
good
Is it a
Salisbury steak.
T-bone, New York? What is the steak?
Oh,
What is that?
it has to be a T-bone to be
Yeah.
that big. 72 ounces, because the T-bone's got everything, right? It's got like the
Yeah, it's
the
got the
new
ribeye.
strip,
It's got
the ribeye, pretty sure it's or porterhouse. What's bigger, T-bone or
porterhouse is bigger.
porterhouse?
Porterhouse is bigger. But I think that's just. I think that's. I don't. Maybe it's a further up on the cow.
On the
where
cow?
rib cage is bigger. Yeah.
Could it just be like thicker? You know, like if you stacked a couple together.
Thickness certainly is relevant, but yeah, it's got to be a couple of different things there. But yeah, T-bone, porterhouse. Porterhouse is probably what it is. It's probably what a porterhouse or a tomahawk. Everybody's eating a damn tomahawk now.
The 72 ounce
It's like
steak
4
dinner
pounds.
challenge includes shrimp cocktail, baked potato, salad with roll, butter, and of course the 72 ounce steak.
What's the price tag if you can't eat it?
If you can't eat it all, it's $72.
Oh, it's a bargain.
That's really not that bad.
It's not, but it's not the. This is not Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Just gonna tell you, this is old school traditional Texas steakhouse. So
It's not bad though. I mean,
Well, it's not
flavor wise,
bad.
I
That's
just
what I'm
couldn't see eating
yeah.
that much food.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's a lot of money to spend in order to feel utterly terrible. Because there's no way you leave out of that challenge feeling like
I don't know.
glad I did that.
I've known some big boys, and as much as you think that is a lot to eat, I know a couple of people that I've encountered in my life that could eat that. I can tell
So
you.
the thing is like you've got to like your stomach needs to be prepared. Like it has to stretch, right? And so unless you go in like you don't just go in there with like wide eyes, you know, and oh, I'm really hungry, I can do
Correct.
this.
I could eat a
Most likely
horse.
You can't. Yeah. Because like those competitive eaters, man, like a lot of them, you know, they practice with grapes or like high water content foods to like they just eat lots of it, stretches out their stomach. They're able to kind of pass through it pretty quickly.
I like how they dunk their hot dogs in water. That's pretty disgusting.
Dude, it's or Pepsi, yeah. The buns, just get it down. You'll notice like everybody was surprised like that like some of the top eaters are like thin dudes because you typically associate appetite with being a larger person, but it's better to stretch, right? Their stomachs can stretch easier without, you know, being compressed by like heavy layers of fat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something over the course of your
So
life.
what's their
person,
longevity? Any history on that? Because I gotta believe that can't be. I mean, especially if you're a hot dog guy and you spend your career,
they're perfectly healthy.
You make a career out of hot dog eating contest.
Yeah,
Good Lord,
eating like 40 in a go.
I mean, you know, maybe we could set that up.
I
Maybe we could have. You know what, Ed? Why don't we? You know what? This is something. Let's pitch this to the association. How about we have a squash eating contest?
Who would sponsor that though?
I don't know. I could think of maybe.
Who would participate?
Well, okay, who in the hell? Okay, why hot dogs? Why I'm eating 40 freaking hot dogs seems like that's a great idea, or 2 million donuts, or whatever it is. Why would not consuming insane amounts of squash? I mean, if everybody loves the hot dog, why not eating a bunch of squash?
Same reason people watch car
Everybody
wrecks.
loves the squash.
What's that? I'm sorry?
Same reason people watch car wrecks and, you know, looky-loo at, you know,
No, guys, Armor
accident
Hot Dog,
sites. I mean, people
Armor
like
Hot
to
Dog
watch
come up with the idea. Hey, they said, look, we're going to give away a bunch of money, and that's what attracted us. Oh, free money? I can eat a bunch of hot dogs, and that's how I get started. So if we gave away something really cool, like a chance to be on the Fresh CrEd show, see who could eat the most squash. we'd cook it. It'd be sauteed squash. Have a plate of sauteed squash. I don't know. I think it's kind of a good idea, actually.
So yeah, some of these hot dog contests, I can't find. Well, I'll try and do a little bit more research, but in terms of longevity of health, but these dudes are eating like 70 something hot dogs at a time.
Yeah, but and you tell me about this practice they got to get in. They got to stretch their stomach. They eat all these. It's like, well, how do you get on that career path, man? I don't know. I don't get that. And how do you think that's?
I mean, it's just.
I guess you got to pick something.
It's like competition.
Oh, there's that state.
How do you get into throwing javelins? Like it's just like point. I think that people see they come across it one way or another. It piques their interest, and they give it the old college try.
I guess. I don't know. That steak looks pretty good though. Although it doesn't look like a thickie. Looks like
think you have to eat those
cooked.
Jalapenos too?
I don't know.
that would stink if somebody could eat a lot but couldn't eat jalapenos.
Okay, so what are you trying to imply? That they're going to have bowel issues?
No, just you would.
We say it would stink.
No, I just mean it'd be like not good for them.
Oh, I thought.
Where'd you post it, Ed?
Discord. Oh. You figured out how to work with Discord.
Yeah, man, that does look good.
So, I cooked an amazing, last night. So I'd had a ribeye. Tanya had an art show, so I had a big old ribeye from Costco. One singular, about that thick.
By yourself?
And no, I cooked that one and split it between Tanya and I. Baked potato and squash, onions, bell pepper, sauteed. Oh, fabulous, man. Now,
was it good?
Yeah, we didn't get to gorge ourselves till we threw up, unfortunately. But yeah, it was tasty. Well, let's do some quotes real quick. So I sent mine over. Ed, do you have a quote this week, buddy?
I do, but I feel like I've
let me down.
I feel like I've used it before, but I don't care. Well, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, let's get yours out of the way because it doesn't sound like it's going to be very good. So,
I'm not a huge fan of Nick Saban. It was a quote of his.
I don't like Alabama, but I like Nick.
Passion always looks like aggression to the unmotivated.
I've heard that quote, and that is good.
Yeah, if I've already used it.
Too bad. I
have others.
It's good attitude, Ed.
I've been listening to Sad Guru quite a bit this week, and he's got a ton of them.
So who is Sad Guru? Who is that?
He's a guru by his name.
How do you spell his first name?
Sadh.
And what's he do? Is he a motivational speaker guru? Is he like, I'm not your guru, Tony Robbins?
He's a modern day, let's say, guru. I mean, he's on Instagram and stuff like that, but he's a guru. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you get to be a guru?
I think he's named top 50 most influential people in India, which India's a pretty big country. In case you didn't know, there's a ton of people there.
So do you go to school in India and get a guru license or something? How do you work that?
It's like an apprenticeship. I don't know, dude.
Well, you're following this guy, don't you? Aren't you curious of what gives him credibility?
To some of his I was introduced to him via Lewis Howe's podcast, which I really like. He does like 3 a week. And so that was my first metric for credibility. But look, everything he says does not ring true for me, but I just pick out the nuggets. I mean, I'm I can tell what I like and what I don't. So
I'm gonna look him up. Saudi.
Saad. I'll send you the link. Let's put
send me the link. All right.
I'll send you the link.
All right. So
but there is like he does talk a lot about oneness with the earth and nature and all this stuff, which totally makes sense to me. Like every once in a while, like how you have to like literally touch the dirt to realize that you're part of the dirt or the earth. And like, I don't want to get off on a whole pro hunting kick, but there's certain primal things that are part of our DNA that I think once you awaken, like it's a thing. Like it becomes very instinctual or important to you, and that's how I feel about Being outdoors.
All right, so on to my quote here. In keeping with the Olympics have started, I think we talked about that already in the show, and I want my quote to be relevant. So I try and get creative and think about what's happening in the world and connect it in there. So just so you know, that's kind of how I come up with my stuff is
I was worried about that.
think about the timing. So maybe next week you can think about something that's Super Bowl related. So just to give you an idea.
The
That being
big game, you mean?
The big game, correct. So this is, do you guys know have you ever heard of Eddie the Eagle? Oh my gosh.
No.
Put this show, Eddie the Eagle, guys, this is a show. You all loved your Ted Lasso. You guys turn me on Ted Lasso.
It's good, right?
It is good. Eddie the Eagle is a movie. It's about a ski jumper from England. I think he's from England. You just have to watch the show. There's no way I can describe it to you except you got to watch Eddie the Eagle. Inspirational. This is a massive inspirational movie. I'm telling you. But here's this quote. Now, honestly, I was just going to use the front part of this, but when I looked it up in total, it had this rest of it. So the part that struck with me, he's a ski jumper, right? In the right circumstances, Terra is good. It makes you focus. That was really that's the premise, and that's the quote that I want to stick out because it's simple, but in reality, in the right and that is so freaking true, man. You know, when you're in a situation in business or you're in a situation in a sporting event or whatever, and when you're scared out of your wits, buddy, when terror sets in, whatever the fear may be, you get super hyper focused on what you need to do. You know, I talked about snowboarding, and the part that I love the most about snowboarding is the fact that if I do not focus my entire attention on that action that I'm doing, I am destined to plant my face into something, snow, trees, or whatever. So that is the best example I can give, especially when I was first getting started out, because I am never more focused than when I'm on the back of a snowboard, because I am terrified most of the time I'm on the back of on there. But anyway, in the right circumstances, terror is good. It makes you focus, and I believe that beyond 100%. So always remember that if you find yourself in a scary situation, and I mean it's scary in terms of a business situation, like you're afraid that you're about to lose your most biggest account ever, right? And you're staring down the barrel of that terror, I can assure you, will make you focus on doing everything you possibly can to save that. But let me go on to read the rest of the quote. The failures are the people who never get off their bums. You've got to think life can give you some bad knocks. No matter how hard you're knocked, you've got to get up. So anyway, that's my quote.
Again?
So I'm going to read the whole thing again. The front part's what I love the most. In the right circumstances, terror is good. It makes you focus. The failures are the people who never get off their bums. You've got to think life can give you some bad knocks. No matter how hard you're knocked, you got to get up. You got to watch this movie. I'm telling you, put this on. You guys will come back next week and you'll say, wow, that was good. Super inspirational. And it's based on a true story. I mean, the dude actually exists. It's not just a movie. This guy actually existed, and, you know, they embellished, I'm sure, plenty of stuff in it. But it's a great story, super inspirational, Olympic based, right? I'd say it's, you know, outside of watching Shaun White, I don't know what else is there to watch in the Winter Olympics. So
cool,
gentlemen. Thank you very much. Edward, you want to wrap us up here, take us out?
Follow us at Fresh CrEd on Instagram, at the CrEd Fresh on Twitter, Instagram, on YouTube, now on Facebook. Download, watch,
Meta,
share, repost. Help us out.
Give us a call sometime, folks. Okay.
Give them your number.
All right. Everybody have a great week, and we are out, guys. Take care.
See you.